I'm Chris Rocky, Science and Water Quality Manager for South West Water, but today I'm dressed like this because I'm playing the role of James Goldsworthy, who brought water treatment to this site about 180 years ago. It's really good to welcome people into the site today to tell them a little bit of the story of Exeter's water and how we treat it now and how we might do so in the future.
Pines Treatment Work gets its water from the River Exe. The River Exe is a lowland river which is subject to seasonal variation and spate conditions. We can also open the dam at Wimbleball Reservoir and bring water in from there down through the River Exe to the treatment works. So the raw water conditions are very variable here, which means we need a robust treatment process. As the water comes into the treatment works from the abstraction, it's actually already had a little bit of treatment. We've added what we call a coagulant. Coagulant is used to destabilise the negative charges in the particulate. This allows us to lump them together, remove them later on in the treatment process. After the water comes through this turbulent phase, which we refer to as flash mixing, it's then gently agitated in a phase we call flocculation. This further allows everything to lump together, which makes it easier for us to remove it later on in the treatment process. The water then goes through to what we call clarification. Clarification can be very, very simple at its heart. It could be as simple as filling up a jar, letting the solid particulate sink to the bottom and then decanting the cleaner water off the top. Things here are a bit more complicated. We have what we call sludge blanket superpulsator clarifiers. So the water comes in from the bottom, the upflow velocity is set as such that the particulate will settle towards the middle and form what we call a sludge blanket. And everything above that is clarified water. The pulsator acts to agitate that blanket and makes it denser. This allows us to put more water through the clarifiers. If we didn't have that aspect, then we would probably need to at least double the footprint to achieve the 60 million litres of water that Pines is capable of treating. After the water has been clarified, it then goes through to filtration. A lot of people assume that filters work like a sieve, but there's no straining that goes on in these water filters. The particles that we're trying to remove are actually smaller than the sand. We rely on collisions between these particles and the sand and the particles sticking to the sand. It's a very prescribed methodology around these filters, so everything from sand size to bed depth to the way they're operated. So we always make sure that they're operated very, very slowly. This ensures that they run to their full potential. Following the filtration stage, the water then goes through to the GAC contactors. GAC stands for granular activated carbon. The purpose of these contactors is to remove naturally occurring and man-made organic material. So the GAC actually has a huge surface area. 1 gram of GAC can have over 1,000 square metres of surface area. The organic material will bind to this surface area and be removed from the water. After the contactors, it then goes through to a very, very crucial stage of the process, disinfection stage. This stage is there to prevent the spread of waterborne diseases. We dose with chlorine one end of what we call the contact tank. It goes through a series of baffles in the tank and then the chlorine level is reduced at the other end. The reason we reduce it is purely to make it more palatable for our customers. The majority of contacts we get around chlorine tastes are actually related to domestic plumbing, but you will get some people that are particularly sensitive to chlorine and could taste it if we didn't reduce that level. After the disinfection stage, we then head through to the final water storage tank. This holds 27 million litres of water, which is roughly about an average day's worth of treatment at Pines. From this tank, it's pumped into our distribution network and finally onto our customers.